Welcome to our Benton County Tourism Project. Some of the resources we explored for this were newsletter archives of past newsletters, the Benton County Tourism website, which we saw could use a little update, the Facebook page, which has a lot of past events, which we use as inspiration for further events that we've promoted. A box folder of previous proofs, photos, and documents. Our supervisor, Lynette Stokes, gave us a lot of different photos, documents to work with. Pinterest tourism boards, see what other communities are doing and how they're promoting tourism in their area. And YouTube tourism boards, tourism videos doing the same exact thing. What really helped us promote Benton County was actually our site visit, seeing what we were promoting. We started off going to the Warsaw Community Center and discussed plans and deadlines with our supervisor. And then we ended up getting lunch at Cosmic Cafe, which was a locally owned restaurant, as most are down there. We went to the swinging bridge in Warsaw in Benton County, as you can see here, great views. And then the Visitation Center, which was really cool. Amazing view of Lake Truman. And we also watched a video on the history of Lake Truman and the dam that built it. Got to see a lot of different lake views, very scenic. And then to wrap it up, we visited the fish hatchery, which also serves as hunting grounds. Conservation guide Jeff gave us a great tour. And then actually ended at Common Ground Cafe, another locally owned restaurant, super cool interior. But yeah, I believe the site visit itself really helped us promote what we were doing. It's a lot easier to promote a place that you're familiar with. So I'm gonna pass it on here.
So the need that we were trying to tackle with this marketing project was the need for marketing in this in Benton County, which is a city that's close to the Lake of the Ozarks, but not close enough to where the traffic from the Lake of the Ozarks goes to Benton County. And so we needed to create a marketing scheme so that people would go towards Benton County and visit Warsaw maybe after they visit the lake, or they go to the lake that's in Benton County, which is a beautiful lake. We saw it on our site visit. Beautiful view from the Visitors Center, which is managed by the Army Corps of Engineers. And so we decided to take all these great aspects of Warsaw and Benton County into account and sort of come up with a way so that we could generate some more traffic to the area. The problem, as I said, was it's a little bit overshadowed by the Lake of the Ozarks. Lake of the Ozarks is a big mega attraction in Missouri. Some would say the largest. And so all the visitors that go there every year, they sort of stick to the highways. They don't really see the back roads. And so with this project, we wanted to emphasize the great aspects of the downtown city in Warsaw and the overall aspect of Benton County. So to address this need and problem, we want to focus on different ways that we can promote our social media, mostly focusing on the different types of people that would come to the area and looking at those demographics. So I would say probably most of the demographic of the area is older. And so in this area in this era of that we're living in, it's very driven by social media. And so in order to get those younger types and young families into the area, we need to be able to promote the area on social media, because millennials travel more than any other group and generation. And so it's very important that we do not overlook them, even though they may be slighted in the media today. So with that, I will
The challenges and limitations of this project had two parts to it. Part one was the group aspect, and part two was the creative process slash marketing process of the actual project. Part one, the group aspect, dealt with three things, which was timing, long-term planning, and communication. The timing of the project was always something that I feel like our group and everyone else's group struggled to do. Like meeting at the same exact time was always a difficult thing because we all have crazy hectic schedules with lots of other classes, and that was definitely probably the hardest and most difficult part of the project. And then the second part of it was the long-term planning. The long-term planning of the project, like figuring out like when we were gonna get all of our stuff done and like figuring out when exactly we were going to do this exact project and record the presentation and everything like that was always difficult. But I feel like our supervisor definitely helped us out on that part. She always emailed us like a specific timeline and goals thing, which definitely helped us all in the long run. And then the last thing in the group aspect that we found a little bit difficult was the communication, but we kind of figured that out. We had a group me, so we all stayed in contact and made sure we knew exactly what we were doing. And part two of the challenges and limitations were the creative process and the marketing process of the project. And the two things were location and the learning new things, and like kind of had to step out of our comfort zone. So for the location, like Jack said earlier, the biggest thing was marketing the lake, because it's literally right next to the Lake of the Ozarks. And we figured one of the ways that we could figure that out was to do a market the Benton County's lake as more of a quiet and more reserved side to the lake, rather than it be like the Lake of the Ozarks, which is more of like the party and the crazy side of the lake where people drink and do all that stuff. And Benton County is more of a place where you can go canoe and stuff. Like you're not going to be able to do that at the Lake of the Ozarks. Like there's too many boats and too many all of that stuff. And then the learning new things slash stepping out of our comfort zones was definitely the biggest part of this project. That was a challenge. For example, we used Adobe Illustrator for the photos of the marketing side of the project, and that was definitely something scary because I had no clue how to use Adobe Illustrator whatsoever. But if you go to YouTube, there's tutorials on Adobe, there's tutorials on how to do that stuff. Adobe Illustrator is definitely something I would recommend also for Benton County to get, so they could do like we did on this project, because the photos actually turned out really well. What is Adobe Illustrator? It is a vector graphics editing system that was made by Adobe, and this was used to create all the photos. It's similar to Adobe Photoshop, but it's better for marketing photos. The pricing and benefits of Adobe Illustrator, you can get it. Price option number one is $19.99 a month with a 1-year commitment. And then pricing option number two is $29.99 a month without a commitment. And the benefits of it, it's easy to learn. Like I said, there's YouTube and Adobe Illustrator tutorials on how to do it. And then it's always going to give you great quality photos. And it can create a wide variety of marketing photos such as charts, graphs, logos, and diagrams. So before finding Adobe Illustrator, you could see that my photo looked, you could laugh because it looked so bad, to be honest. And then after I found Adobe Illustrator, my photos came out a lot better than before. It looked like a kindergartner did it than the one before. And now this looks professional and good, and I was proud of the work. Here's some more. And I'll pass it on.
So some recommendations and findings we have for Benton County. We found that there was a multitude of cultural events. There were lots of holiday parties, lots of Christmas parties, a tree lighting ceremony. So lots of different events that they could market. We found the area to be very rich in history, lots of great buildings. There's also various restaurants and eateries that go unadvertised, so just bringing them a lot of media traction would be good. Lots of their events are family friendly, and this contrasts with the other side of the lake, which is more for college students and attracts a younger crowd. So this area can be marketed as very family friendly with lots of family friendly events and hotspots. There's also a great local craft business going on. So that's something that could receive a lot more social media traction. We found that it would be beneficial to focus on the quiet side of the lake, how it could be, there's like lots of potential for fishing and outdoor activities as well as family friendly activities. We thought it'd be beneficial if we could compose itineraries for visitors for the weekend or just for days, just to give them a list of like things to see, places to visit, local businesses to visit. Here are some of our proofs that we worked on, just different things, advertising, Benton County, Heritage Days, things like that. Lake of the Ozarks Quiet Side, Truman Lake. We also worked on newsletter content for the months of November and December, and we sent this out to all our followers. We focused on events happening around the area, so like different holiday markets, tree lighting ceremonies, Christmas parties, things like that. We wanted to use words like warm, friendly, inviting, family friendly, because we're trying to attract a certain kind of crowd. To gather information for these newsletters, we refer to resources such as Facebook event pages and previous newsletter archives to gather more information about the different events and their timings and things like that.
Hi, so I'm just going to talk about some opportunities for future action here. First off, I want to get on where we left off. So a big part of our project was during the fall and kind of winter months. So marketing that, we kind of organized and structured our marketing plan around that. So in the beginning, during the fall, we, like said before, we kind of focused on more fall events and doing stuff like that. And then once we transferred to winter, we tried to market more holidays and Christmas kind of shopping, stuff like that. So to leave off from there, next semester for future students working on this project, the Benton County Tourism group, it's going to be the spring semester, which is a great time for fishing and other spring events. So if some students want to kind of market their project around that for the spring, and they'll also be transferring into the summer months, which is again great for fishing. They can do some sort of advertising and videos and newsletters about that, and boating like canoeing or water skiing, stuff like that on the Truman Lake, which would be really cool. Again, hiking and biking, which are huge for this area because it's just such a beautiful area. So being able to market that with pictures, social media posts, especially trying to show off all the views that you get from hiking or biking. And then there's a lot of outdoor shopping that goes on there. So during the summer, I feel like that would be a great time to kind of market shopping and doing that kind of stuff. And then progressing into even further, like we did the Heritage Days, the Benton bike race, which I have a video that we put together displaying the bike race, which is really cool. And again, that's a great time for hunting and fishing, especially the hatcheries. I think that would be a good kind of center point to market around there. Again, and then in the winters, you can market the holidays like Christmas shopping and stuff like that again. So I'm going to show you the video here. This is for the bike race. Mrs. Stokes provided us with all the videos and pictures here. We decided to put it all together with some music and some transitions here. Oops.
good hills, lots of good ground. What did you think about it?
It was awesome, and everybody was so nice and enthusiastic.
Nice.
So that was just some of the proof we put together. Like I said, that was the bike race. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities for the next few semesters coming up for students. This place is a great area. For tourism, it's an awesome place to go. Very, very cool, very great views and all that. So yeah, that's our video there. Good.